Big night here at Quinnipiac Arena. Dexter Henry and our great St. John's beat reporter. You are great. The great Zach Braziller was here for a special night where St. John's defeated Quinnipiac 108-74. Let's start right from the top, Zach, because before the game, had the nice banner ceremony, pregame ceremony, right? Had the Big East Championship banner, also Rick Pitino's Coach of the Year banner. A lot of vibes looking back at last year, but this team has big goals ahead this year. How nice was it to see them honor what this team did last year?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a year last year that the fans have waited so long for. You know, they win the Big East regular season and postseason titles. Bitter ending with the early loss in the tournament, but it was a great year, and you know, really kind of St. John's was nationally relevant again last year for the first time in a long time, and you know, then this team went out and showed that maybe they can be even better. That was impressive. Quinnipiac's not a bad team. That's a good mid-major. They were picked to win the MAC. They have some real big-time athletes for a mid-major school, and St. John's hammered them. I mean, it wasn't even as close as the final score. They were up 47 at one point. An impressive debut, and Rick Pitino even said it. They were better than he thought they would be to start.
Yeah, he did say that after the game. They were better than thought to be. I think the score shocked a lot of people. But when you look at this game, this team was led by Dylan Mitchell with his 18 points. Zuby Ejiofor had 17 in this one. There were 5 St. John's players in double figures. How impressed were you with the front court, which you told me in Eye of the Storm that you thought could be really good for this team? Ejiofor and Mitchell, they showed up in a big way tonight.
Yeah, you know, Bryce Hopkins, he only had 8 points, but he had 5 assists. Yep. He rebounded the ball. I mean, that three, you know, Quinnipiac obviously had no answers for them, and a lot of teams aren't going to have answers. We saw how well they played against Michigan in the exhibition, and Michigan has one of the best front lines in the country. Look, when you have guys like Ejiofor and Mitchell who can guard on the perimeter, I mean, there was a possession where they both had to switch out of guards, and the guards couldn't get past them. You know, it's rare for big athletic guys like that who can defend on the perimeter. It's kind of like almost, you know, you look at the NBA where now it's the new wave is big guys who can guard on the perimeter. And St. John's has 2 of those guys, and they're going to be mismatched nightmares all year, those 2 with Hopkins. And yeah, they were terrific. I thought Joe Sonsano was very good. Ian Jackson hit some shots. Dylan Darling. I mean, you know, there really weren't, outside maybe, you know, some turnover stuff and some loose possessions here and there. You could have asked for a better start.
No, you couldn't have. They played very efficient offensively, 25 assists on 39 made field goals. And then you talked about the switchability on defense. So here's my question for you, Zach. They put up 108 points tonight against a good Quinnipiac team. Were you more impressed with their offense or defense tonight in game 1?
I think it was the offense. You know, the big question is point guard. They don't really have that traditional guy, at least in the starting lineup. And the offense looked good for the most part. Yes, they're able to bully Quinnipiac a little bit, but for the most part, the ball really moved. You mentioned the 25 assists. You know, the defense had some spots where you know, clear drives and stuff like that, but that'll get better in time. You know, no, I mean, I think it probably surpassed my expectations. I thought they would win today by around 20 or so. Like, Quinnipiac's not a bad team. Yeah. This wasn't just like a layup, and, you know, they blew them away.
They blew them away indeed. Now, we got to look ahead. Next up, big game on Saturday at the Garden. Zach will be in the building. Top 10 matchup. Got St. John's ranked number 5 against Alabama, number 8. Rick Pitino said they are the most unique team to play in the country. What do you expect from this matchup, which will be a huge early season test?
Yeah, look, Bama loves to, they're going to run, they're going to hoist threes. It's going to be like Rick Pitino said, it's going to be a track meet. You know, the one thing is Alabama is not great up front, and that's really where St. John's could hurt them. The guard play will be interesting because Alabama's has really good guards and they can really shoot the 3, but they're a little thin inside, and that's where I think St. John's could really hurt them, is pounding the ball inside, hitting the offensive glass. You know, it's a game I expect St. John's to be the favorite in, but it's a really good team. It's an Alabama team that's been a March player here for a while now under Nate Oates, and it's a really good challenge. They play a really good non-conference schedule. You have Alabama, Kentucky, Ole Miss. They go to Las Vegas for the Players Era Festival, Baylor and Iowa State. So this is a team that's going to be really challenged. And, you know, today kind of showed maybe they're ready for Alabama, which is going to be a difficult test.
Yeah, they sure looked ready today. 108 points and 108-74 victory over Quinnipiac in that big test coming up on Saturday against Alabama. That's Zach Braziller, the great beat writer covering St. John's for us at the New York Post. I'm Dexter Henry signing off from Quinnipiac Arena.